What up, everybody? Ryan the Mighty Quinn here, the Cornerman underscore MMA. Um, this past weekend, Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev was a great fight. Did not see the whole fight personally, saw the highlights as well as read about it the next day. It sounds like, although controversial, that Islam did get the job done. Today, I wanted to focus on something that Craig Jones, world class grappler, said when asked about Islam's grappling. And I just want to dig in a little bit. I thought it was kind of a funny situation or topic, so to speak. Now, let's just back up from the beginning. Let's read what he said. What MMA Junkie put. Now we got to remember that this might not even be the whole quote. Keep that in mind. I know a lot of the MMA diehards or even the MMA casuals, they jump down his throat. Um, and now this is the quote that he posted. I mean, he's just good at holding people down. Like, he submits people, but I don't think he has good submissions. All right, he said that, and then, like I said, MMA fans jumped down his throat, went crazy, and then I was a little intrigued by the response some of those being actually said, particularly, it said, hilarious to see people try to dunk on Craig Jones, actual world class submission artist, for his comments on Makhachev not being the best submissions. Maybe, just maybe, deeper understanding of subs than people who watch grappling and MMA. Crazy, I know. Now, I agree with Kenny. I think that Craig Jones is absolutely right that his submissions probably not world class on the grappling level. I think that he does look a little, smother sometimes. He gets his submissions, but that's what is offered in mixed martial arts. So, which is, I was a little surprised at Kenny's response with that, because we've had this conversation, this debate, this argument over and over for years, up until about 5 years ago, I would say, after McGregor Mayweather. So you could pretty much put together where I'm going with that. Now, when I know it was like when MMA really started getting big, I remember Anderson Silva was pound for pound champion, pound for pound best in the world. And there was constant debate, him versus Roy Jones Jr., who would win and who has the better striking now. And it was always boxing versus MMA. It was who's the better, whatever, and MMA fighters, yeah, we would say, yeah, we're not world class boxers. We don't try to be. Me personally, I am not I have shabby striking for mixed martial arts purposes, let alone boxing. I'm a wrestler going into mixed martial arts. I knew what I was there, how I wanted to win. So basically, what I'm saying is this is the same argument we've been having with boxing, as opposed to what Craig Jones had just said uh, a few days ago. We have so much to worry about in the aspect of mixed martial arts with the boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, grappling. And now that the sport has evolved, we also have to worry about the cage wrestling and the ground and pound and escapes from bottom. There's a lot to do. And now people are conditioning during the week. So basically, what I guess I'm saying about Craig Jones is, yes, I agree with you that Islam Makhachev probably isn't a world class grappler, but he's the most devastating fighter on the planet right now when it comes to the ground. Yes, he is holding people down because he's looking for ground and pound position, as well as not being ground and pounded, to set up his submissions that may look a little sloppy in the grappling aspects. Maybe you feel he's got to put the gi on a little bit. I don't know. I don't think so. That's a little bit outdated as well, that argument. I was a little surprised with the mixed martial arts community as far as the fighters is concerned, that they didn't revert back to this argument that we've seen before with boxing years ago with, mixed martial artists. Yes, you might have seen a lot of flaws in his grappling game, but we're talking about his overall ground game, because we have so much to worry about with training as opposed to just the grappling aspect, as opposed to just the boxing aspect 10 years ago, things like that. So I was a little surprised at some of those reactions. Now, I still think it'd be interesting to see Islam in a grappling bout. I think he's strong. Yes, he might hold, but he might surprise you. People like that, I know people like myself, I tend to find where I'm really strong at, and I stick to it in the grappling aspect. I have a really good front headlock, as does Islam. He may be able to catch people up. It's funny that if you got a good guillotine in grappling, it takes you really far. It takes you really far. So, yeah, going back, what I'm saying is, yeah, I totally agree with Craig Jones. I don't believe that Islam is a world class grappler, but I don't think he's trying to be either. I think he's trying to be a world class mixed martial artist, and he knows how to get to where he's got to be with him in his camp, Habib, training all those guys, or formally training those guys now. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but yeah, I felt that it was a very interesting. I was very surprised that those who with the MMA background, and no, it was probably those MMA slash jujitsu guys coming to the defense of Craig Jones. It was kind of funny that they forgot about this boxing argument that we've had years ago, 4 years to come, and they just really flipped the script there. Um, Always a great topic. Always love when people come in from other areas of individual martial arts and give their take. We need to learn from those people. Craig Jones is definitely somebody. I mean, I would call him in as a grappling coach to my camps. I would want to know what he's doing. I would want to know what I'm missing, where I could tighten up, because that's also, we have to realize too, as mixed martial artists, we can't just dismiss the fact that there's too much to learn. I got to do it simply for MMA. We do have to crawl before we could walk in so many areas. And a person like Craig Jones could really tighten up your grappling game, not just for offensive purposes, but for defensive purposes. Maybe he'll work with Islam Makhachev for a couple weeks, and Islam could learn where his weakness windows are, so to speak, where he can avoid to set up more ground and pound. You know, I'm willing to say Craig Jones, like I said, is a world class mixed martial artist. He's a total stud. I'm sure he's trained mixed martial arts. I'm sure he knows what works and what doesn't. Um, and on top of that, he can only answer the question he was asked. I don't really fault the guy there either. Anyway, that's what I got there, guys. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later. Bye bye.